So Avery wanted me to talk a little bit today about chickens. But I'm going to start by talking about impulse purchases. Because I know we all have like impulse purchases, like you walk through the grocery store, next thing you know you're coming home with potato chips, you had no idea you needed potato chips or whatever your impulse purchase might be, I don't know. Well, today we impulse purchased 10 chickens. It wasn't quite that crazy. It wasn't like we're driving down the road and there's a sign that said chickens and we came home with chickens. But Avery has, one of his superpowers is that he's a Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace stalker, and he finds amazing things. And anyway, he found chickens, and he knows that I really like blue eggs. Not because there's anything better or anything more nutritious about them, I just think they're prettier. And if we're going to go to all this work making food, then I want it to be pretty. And so anyway, he found some chickens that lay blue eggs that were of laying age, and a chicken takes 20 weeks to get to lay eggs. So if you like get a chick and you know it's going to lay eggs for you, that's really exciting for like a week or two, and then you're like, why am I still feeding you and I'm not getting any eggs? And it gets old really quick. And we've done that lots of times because every time we move, we get new chicks. So anyway, he found some that were already laying, and they laid blue eggs, and they were actually really close, only 9 minutes away from our house. And so as he was leaving for work, he said, hey, here's a phone number. If you want to go pick up some chickens, they have some for sale, and they lay blue eggs. And so, because he loves me, he told me these things, because I don't look like Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, and I don't think Avery really cares what color the eggs shells are. So that was just because he loves me. And so I went and bought 10 chickens today. Now doing that is great, all well and fine. We have chicken feed, we have water, we have a place to keep chickens, but the spot where it gets a little tricky is if you went out and you got a new puppy, or you went out and got a new cat, that's probably a better comparison. If you just took your old cat and your new cat and you locked them in a room together, you're probably going to have a lot of fighting. Well, the same goes for chickens. If you take your chickens and then these new chickens you're bringing home and you just put them in the coop together, there's going to be a lot of fighting, and they may get so rough that they fight to the death. They might just like dogs will kind of growl and decide who's the boss. They might do that, but you don't really know. And I'm not going to walk in the middle of a chicken fight because I don't want to get scratched and pecked. So anyway, you can't just like throw them all together in the middle of the day and expect everything to go fine. And right now my chickens are in jail because they keep digging up my sweet potatoes, and I haven't figured out how to fence off the sweet potatoes yet, so the chickens have been put in jail, which means they're locked in their coop. And normally they get to free range. So anyway, everybody's locked in the coop now because today is going to be like 93 degrees or something. So the new chickens couldn't like be left outside. The old chickens I'm not kicking outside because they will go eat my sweet potato starts. And so anyway, everyone is in chicken jail right now. And we have it all situated and figured out so that they can get used to each other, they can see each other for a while, and then tonight, when the chickens naturally put themselves on their roosts to go to sleep, because once it starts to get dark, they want to get high, it's like their own instinct, so that they don't get eaten by stuff. So our chickens will put themselves on their roosts, and I will come out and I will remove the new chickens from where they're currently stuck, and I will stick them in between our chickens, and then when they wake up tomorrow morning, they'll just like all be there, and they will have smelled each other and kind of acclimated to the smell of our barn all day long. I don't think chickens smell, but whatever it is that lets them know it's a new chicken, it will kind of have worn off because they've been in there with them all day, and then they'll like wake up tomorrow morning and they'll be able to see, and nobody seems weird, and there shouldn't be any fights. So let's go in the barn. Well, we're in the barn. Let's go in the coop and see what's going on in there. Hello, okay, so we're going into the coop. Now, as you know, if you've watched before, this is actually our cow's stall, but in the back of her stall is the chicken coop. And since we have these extra chickens in here, I left it so that our chicken, the original chickens, could come into the cow's stall and they could just have like a bigger area. Plus it's really hot today, so they can come into here and spread out if they want to and help cut down the fly population. So as you see, there's the cow stall right here. These guys like being on this side because she has more flies than they do, I'm sure. And then we'll go through to the chicken coop. Normally this door would be shut. Boom, and then they couldn't come in because Pearl doesn't really like the chickens. So here's the coop. This is the roost that our chickens are gonna hop up onto tonight. Just the 2x4 that Avery put up. Over here we have their nest boxes, and we have one broody hen who is constantly laying in that nest box. And then if you look over here, these are the new chickens. Yay! Now the two that have the big red combs are gonna actually lay white eggs. They're leghorns. And then everybody else is a bluebell, which I think I said that right. I think it's a bluebell. Anyway, they lay a blue egg, and it's a combination actually of a leghorn and an Americana. So the gentleman that we bought them from actually breeds his own chicks and hatches them out like purposefully because he's like passionate about the different breeds that they are. And so because they are Americana, which is a beautiful chicken that lays a beautiful egg, but she doesn't lay that many eggs, like you might get 3 eggs a week from her. That's an Americana. He crosses them with a leghorn, which is like, you know, foghorn, leghorn, the standard chicken that everyone thinks of with a chicken. That chicken will lay like over 300 eggs a year, which is almost an egg a day. And so by crossing them, he said that he gets the productivity of the leghorn, but the beauty of the Americana egg. So I was really excited about that. And I had no idea that like I was meeting a passionate chicken person today who was like, he took me on a tour, all kinds of cool stuff that he has going on at his place. Not just chickens, turkeys, homing pigeons, all kinds of cool stuff. So anyway, so here's our girls, our new girls. They have a waterer in here. And Mazra there's no way she's gonna walk in here because Mazra does not like chickens that much, and she's filming. But as you can see, and she's barefoot, so that would be gross. So as you can see, they have about a 1-gallon waterer in the back there, and we'll be out several times today to make sure they have plenty of water. It's nice and cool. And then this is just a dog crate. It's what they actually traveled here in because it kept them safe in the back of the truck. And then I just took some old wood and gave them some roosts so that they can get up, because I mean, if they were going to be in here more than a day, this would actually be bad for them because they would start picking at each other. But, I mean, it's going to be like 8 hours. So I gave them a roost because chickens like to roost. And then we gave them a bunch of leftover watermelon rinds and some of the spinach in the garden that had gone to seed, so it was really bitter. And they don't care because chickens are like little dinosaurs and they'll eat anything. So they're quite happy right now. I'm kind of curious if anyone's going to lay an egg, because they hadn't laid eggs yet today, but with like stress and tension, they will kind of like hold their eggs and they won't lay any. So we may not get any eggs today. We actually might not get any eggs for like a month because of just being moved. They can like mutiny, I guess, or revolt. But anyway, so these are our new girls. Nobody has a name. We don't name chickens unless it has like a super special personality that it really stands out. But they just kind of are the chickens. Sometimes we call them the Breakfast Club. So, okay, so as I was putting the video together to put on YouTube, I realized that maybe you're really listening and like taking notes on what I'm saying, and so you wanted to see my sweet potatoes. So Rosie ate her cake, Yeti's eating her cake, and we're a hot mess, and we came out to show you the sweet potatoes while we had a quiet moment because they're full of sweetness and happy. So here's the sweet potatoes that I also fairly impulsively put in front of the house. There's like, I don't know, 20 or some that go along the front of the house here because we are going to landscape the front, but not this year. We haven't decided what plants we want to put up here, and sweet potatoes will only grow for 1 year. So for now, they're making use of that soil, and that's why it's not fenced off from the chickens, because it's like our landscape. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to keep them out of it. It may end up like doing something with sticks or getting that little decorative picket fence that they sell at like Lowe's or something and putting it up just so they can't scratch it out. But this is our own compost that we have from the horses from over winter, and so it's super full of life, and the chickens love all that life. They just want to scratch it out and eat it. They're actually not interested in the sweet potatoes at all right now. They really just want to move the dirt. But in moving the dirt, they keep moving the starts, and so they're not able to take root and go. So that's why the chickens are in jail. These are the sweet potatoes, and hopefully in a future video they'll be vining out beautiful, flowering, and looking quite lovely if we can keep the chickens off. Alright, for real, this is it this time. Y'all be blessed.